Hi, and welcome back to It's a Miracle Beauty. We are a consumer viewpoint beauty channel that reviews products based on value, use, things like that. We also do unboxings, pan challenge, shop my stash, things like that. So this video is my March, and I'm just going to include April because I did use the majority of these in April. So these are my favorites from March and April, and I have everything from a little bit of hair, a little bit of skincare to majority makeup. So I will start at hair. I have hair that has highlights, lowlights, and natural color in it. So I typically need something very nutritious for it that can moisturize it and kind of soothe it from having flyaways. One thing that I found that works really well is the Marc Anthony Grow Long leave-in conditioner. This makes my hair so silky and so soft. I absolutely love it. So it's definitely one of my favorite products. For skin, I actually fell in love with an old favorite during the last 2 months. The Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. I've been using it for years. It was the very first moisturizer I ever bought. And it's always sitting on my vanity. It used to be my pre-makeup and nighttime. I now use a more thicker cream for at night, but I have gone back to using this in the morning before my makeup. It never pills. It never looks horrible. It never makes my makeup blotchy. And it mixes with my primers really well. They just sit really good on the skin on top of this. So that's my skin favorite. As far as tools, I have two. One I was kind of surprised about. That is the It Cosmetics, let's see what the exact name is, Skin Smoothing Complexion. I actually got this in my Ipsy Plus bag this month. I never use foundation brushes. Well, I can't say never. I very rarely do. And so I did try this a couple times to see it, and it actually really does buff the skin really well. I can't say it looks exactly the same as a sponge because I did use my sponge to go over it, but it had far less streaking, far less than any of my kabuki brushes. And so it's very dense, but it's very soft, so it just buffs over the skin. So that is definitely one of my favorites. And then the other tool I have, I think, is kind of unusual to actually show, but I have a reason. So this is the Tarte Pineapple Eyelash Curler. This literally fits my eyes perfectly. It curves around my eye perfectly. So it doesn't look like, or it doesn't look like, it fits around my eye perfectly. So when it curls, it just curls my lashes. It doesn't pull. It doesn't miss lashes. It just fits perfectly in my eye socket shape. So I actually really love this, and it works very well. So going into makeup, if we look at primers, I did have in my pan challenge the Makeup Forever and the Lumi, and these two are some of my favorites this month, and were used predominantly by the month. In fact, this one, if you look, it's down to here. Like, I'm literally at the very bottom of it. There'll be no problem finishing this for my pan. But the other one that I used this month is a sample that I got in Ipsy, and it is the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. This actually really, like, it's a lotion and a primer all at once. It's one less step. When I do my makeup at work, before I go see a client or something like that, and I'm just throwing on a little bit of a face, I will put this on, and it gives you a healthy glow. So I really love that. For foundation, I use two predominantly this month. One is in my pan challenge, and it is the Makeup Forever HD. This is just a beautiful, natural looking, you know, I can see my freckles with this one. It looks really good, but it is buildable. So it's like medium to buildable coverage. I absolutely love the finish on that one. The other one is drugstore. It's a Revlon Candid. This one, again, looks really natural. It blends really well, and it just always, every time I put it on, it looks good. I've never had a problem with this one. For concealers and color correctors, I have two concealers and one color corrector. This is the Master Camo and Apricot by Maybelline. This is so light, not in color tone, but in formula, that it goes under your concealer without ever making you look cakey, and it does color correct. It's really good. And then the two concealers, I actually think one is a dupe for the other, so it's probably why they're both my favorites right now, is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define and the Tarte Shape Tape. So I've been using Shape Tape for about a year, close to it, and I was using the Born This Way as well. What I figured out is, as I've started to age a little bit, the Born This Way is just a little bit too creamy for me. I like a more firm concealer, so that is why I switched to these two. So those were my favorites. For powders, I think this is the exact same as January and February, is the Fenty Beauty in Lavender and the Too Faced Born This Way. I do love a couple other ones that I got in those 2 months, January, February, or early March, like the Kylie Pink. It works very well. But the Fenty just blends way more, and it doesn't illuminate my eyes where I don't want them to be. For example, I do have heavy wrinkles right here. They're just starting, but they're genetic. That's not necessarily aging. I was going to get them no matter what, probably. And this does not put an emphasis on it. However, the Kylie, for some reason, soaks into those. So I have to use it much lighter hand. It still looks good. I can still make it look amazing. But these are just easy and work well every time. So those were my favorite powders. For face palettes, I had two, but one definitely is the winner in this, is the Cover FX from the BoxyCharm box. This is the Perfector Face Palette in light medium, and it does have two highlighter shades, a brightener shade, a finishing powder, and a blush and contour. Now, I will say I rarely use the blush or the finishing powder for this one. This is the finishing, oops, that's the finishing powder, and then obviously the blush. But this brightener down here is literally the best inner corner highlight I have ever used. I use it predominantly for that and the highlighter, and then the contour I have used. So that is the Cover FX. Definitely that was used predominant amount of the last 2 months. And then the Cocoa Contour by Too Faced. I actually got this at TJ Maxx for I think about half price, and it is the perfect palette for my skin tone. I absolutely love it. It looks immediate, you know, it looks great. What's funny is this is medium to deep, so that tells you it wasn't really created for deep skin tones, because while I cannot use this one over here is perfect for my contour, and these Cocoa Butter and Cocoa Glow are perfect as well. So I kind of let you know that really it's not medium to deep, it's probably light to medium or medium, and so that definitely is awesome. For palettes, I have 4. I use this one predominant amount of the month. It is the Pineapple by Tarte. That's always so hard to open. So this one, there's very little used on the face side at all. I've used them maybe twice. However, I don't know if they'll pick up on camera, but I do have some pretty big dips in my eyeshadows, especially my crease color. I will insert some pics of it close up so you can see how much we've used of that. So you can see how much I've used of that this month. And then the other ones didn't get used every day, but when I used them, they were definitely my favorites. One of them is the ColourPop Just My Look. Another one that is so hard to open for some reason. So this one, these middle row are pretty with so many different things. Like when I ordered this, I figured it would be 4 green looks, and that's it. The other day, I used this olive shade over here, and I did brown and neutrals and those. And then for the inner corner to the half, I did this olive shimmer, and it looked gorgeous. So these are definitely more versatile than I thought they initially were. So it's definitely becoming one of my favorites to supplement other looks. Another one that I've had for a really long time, in fact has some pretty deep dips, is the Don't Quit Your Daydream by Tarte. This is like the perfect neutral palette. It does have deep colors, light colors, and it has some shimmers. So it is perfect, and it's also very travel friendly. So I love that one. A new one that I bought in March under the when it was half off at Ulta is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Francation. I actually watched this for months before I bought it, and I wasn't sure I was actually going to buy it, but I'm very thankful I did now because it is so gorgeous. In fact, these shimmers over here are amazing. So those are my favorite palettes for eyes and other ways. One I want to mention is Sigma Longwear Eye Pencil. This is in black. This will go over shimmers. It's so smooth and buttery. It goes over shimmers without any issue. And so it is one of my favorites. And then I have 2 mascaras. One is the Punk Volumizer Mascara by Dose. This is literally the best mascara I've ever used. It's definitely going to stay in my collection until they discontinue it, because they always do. Not just them, all makeup brands. And the other one is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This one is actually getting old. It's in my birthday pan challenge, and it probably will be done long before my birthday because it's getting older. It's getting a little drier and thicker, but I actually love dry, thick mascaras. In fact, I used my ColourPop this morning, and it's starting to dry out from me using it so much. It's definitely hitting its age or getting close to it, but that just makes me like it more. Even though it has a little bit more flakes than it would ever have, I love it. It's just, I love thick formulas. For setting spray, this is the Lavender Fix Plus by MAC. I don't know if it will pick up, but I have about right there is where I started my birthday pan challenge. I've already used that much. I do spray my face multiple times while doing my makeup at the different stages to help it set. So that is part of the reason so much is used. And then the last 2 items are Dose of Colors, and this is Snappy Lip Liner. Dose of Colors eyeliners and lip liners are so amazing. They actually again, they're buttery. They go on smooth. I don't ever have any skips or pulls or tugs. It's just, they're fantastic. And then lastly is the Jeffree Star Androgyny. This is in my birthday palette, and I had used this a couple times before, but I didn't realize how much I really, really love this color. It is literally like the most awesome nude that's a little bit darker, so it's not just, because my lips are naturally pretty berry colored. This actually works well for my lips. So that is my favorites for March and April. I do try to do these every month, every other month, depending on how many I have or how much I wear makeup that month. So if you like this, I would love if you would click the like button and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We upload every Thursday and Sunday. And lastly, if you wouldn't comment one of your favorite products this month, or if one of these were on your list, you know, it's nice to hear other products and other opinions and things like that. So I hope you have a good day, and I hope I see you soon.